As you know, the site on which you want to build this ballpark is a brownfield redevelopment site. How will you address that during and after construction? And who is responsible for funding the brownfield cleanup?
So I'd like to ask Bennett Hart, who's our environmental counsel, to take a cut at your question.
Thanks, Alex. Good evening. Bennett Hart from the firm of Noble & Wickersham, and we do environmental and land use law and design and construction law. It's been said tonight that this is a great site for a baseball park. From a brownfield redevelopment standpoint, it's a great site. It's a great parcel for a great use for this site. The nature, it is a brownfield site. This site has an industrial legacy. The nature of the contaminations are such this can take a long time for it to be remediated. And the current owner, National Grid, is the entity that will have the responsibility, will undertake that remediation for some time to come. The baseball park is actually an excellent use to go along with that remediation for a couple of reasons. First, as it was mentioned earlier tonight, the park is actually going to sit atop of the site, not be excavated out and be buried into the site. It's going to actually rise above it. As was said earlier, the playing field will actually be 3.5 feet above grade. So when you enter the park, you'll actually go up a little bit to get to the level of the field, and then up beyond that to the seats. And what that means is the park will really just sit atop of what is the current grade, and the park will really sort of function itself, the lower part of the stadium as a cap. It'll be integrated with the cap that's constructed for the remediated site. So it's a very nice use, and you also will not have to dig deep foundations. The way the park will be designed, it'll be shallow foundations without a lot of excavation. So the park is really an exceptional use in that regard. For a second reason, it's also good in that the site right now has some monitoring locations and has some wells for extraction of contaminants, and also some access points to the culverted river and brook. Those are going to need to remain in place, and there may need to be new ones in the years to come. And the ballpark, as you've seen, it's a very open place. There's the field itself, and there's the concourse, there's the exterior area. It's quite open, say, compared with a large mall, for example, or housing complex. So it'd be much easier to get to the existing access points and monitoring wells, and any future ones as well. And they can be hidden easily so that you don't notice them as a patron. So for those two reasons, the park's actually a really great reuse of this brownfield site. And last, I'll just mention that we have on our team, who's not here tonight, a licensed site professional from the Tetra Tech, the same firm as our transportation consultant, who's part of our team, and he will make sure that as we go forward, that our development project is integrated intelligently with the remediation efforts of National Grid, both the cleanup piece and the capping piece, so that when the park is built, it's done in conjunction with the necessary cleanup.
Thank you very much.
I just would like to add, just so folks do understand, we are proposing, this is a lease proposal. We will be leasing on a 60-year or 99-year lease from National Grid. National Grid has the responsibility for the environmental site issues and the remediation that exists both on this site and other part that the area that's under remediation is beyond this parcel. It also covers a number of other blocks in the area. And so ultimately, we are responsible for what goes up above. They still have the responsibility for the remediation and for the financing of the care going forward.